I realize most of you don't have musical instruments or recording equipment at home, and that's okay. I have an activity you can do on a rainy day.
Hey folks, welcome to episode 4. It's Mr. T here. I hope you've enjoyed my last 3 episodes. I've gotten so many cool submissions of art and some of those musical demonstrations, so keep it up. We love to hear and see this stuff. Today, as I just may have mentioned, we are going to be exploring a little activity that you can do when it's a rainy day outside and you can't go out and play. Now, this little app was actually forwarded to me by our great friend Mrs. Galka. It's called Chrome Music Lab Songmaker, and it uses Google as its main source so that many folks here who have access to our Google Classroom, they can use this app on their devices. And actually, it works on any device, really, that can go on the internet. Now, let's give it a try. And first things first, I'm going to show you an example of a little song, but more of an octave or scale, if you know what I mean. So, if you're paying attention, you're listening and watching, and you may have heard a few hints thrown in there. That was our C major scale. Now, let's actually talk about how we organize this song. And oh my goodness, it's gone. But if I go down here, first got to move my head out. Whoa. And I start from scratch like you're going to do. You're going to first go to settings. Okay. When you're in settings, what you're going to notice are 6 different categories. We have length, beats per bar, split beats into, scale, start on, range. Well, if you've been listening and paying attention, you may notice that all of these different categories / settings are all different musical terms that we've talked about throughout our year. Let's start with length and bars. It says length bars. Now, who knows the other name for bars? It's measure. Okay? Measure and bars, the same thing. And how do we actually measure the length or duration of a bar or a measure? We use beats. And in this case, I'm using 4. So if you already kind of thought, wait a second, 4 time. That's right. I'm doing beats per bar 4. I'm doing 4 bars. Okay? Kind of see the pattern that we've been working with. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm splitting my beats into 2. The reason I want a more diverse rhythm. So length 4 bars, beats per bar 4, splitting into 2. You can do the same thing if you want. It's the easiest way to start because we've done this. We've actually played songs like this. But you can do something different if you really want to give it a shot. That's up to you, okay? Scale. Major, C, middle C, and 2 octaves. Now, if you remember our actual C major scale, where did it come from? The what unit? Bum, bum, bum. That's right, the keyboard unit, okay? And with our C major scale, we always start on middle C, and that's why I'm doing this as a way to kind of reinvigorate your brains, make you remember a little bit from our keyboard unit about a month or so ago. And I put major because, well, we've done a lot with major scales, but you can try minor if you want. It's up to you. You can even try a different note, but to make it make sense to you, or maybe just as a starting point, use the C major scale. And I did 2 octaves for a reason. It's because I wanted to go all the way up to my next note, which means I start on middle C and I go all of those 8 notes, which goes to the next highest C and then all the way down back to that middle C. You don't have to do 2 octaves. You can do 1, 3, 4, whatever you want, but I'm starting with 2. All right, folks, you're going to notice I am not here anymore. My little screen is gone. Reason being, I want to show you a full screen demo / tutorial on how to do this. So here we go. We're going to start out by taking a look at a few of these functions. We have tempo right here. Who remembers what the other name for tempo is? That's right. It's the speed of the song. So I'm going to keep it at 120. You're allowed to increase it, decrease it, whatever you want to do. You're going to notice I have a few little instruments here. Conga, piano. Well, here you're going to notice, well, all these different instruments are actually your percussion instruments. And over here is your melodic instrument. And the reason I say melodic is because it can play notes. Now, remember, what is the melody in a song? If you remember correctly, it is the catchy or memorable phrase of a song. Okay? And you have to use, obviously, a pitched or melodic instrument to play it, as I just mentioned. So I'm going to go piano. I'm going to go back to my conga. Now, your conga is represented by these dots down here at the bottom. You see all these little dots? They're small and big. The big is lower, small is higher pitched, okay? And now what you're going to notice with both of these instruments actually is the lower you are, the lower the pitch. The higher you are, the higher the pitch. Okay, so dots are down here. Those are your percussion instruments. And up here, you have all these boxes. These represent your melodic or pitched instruments. Now, you're going to notice there's a little pattern here. There's 4 thick lines that are white in the background, and then there's 4 that are gray. Okay, these thick lines represent your beats, actually. Remember, I divide your beats into 2 so I could have a more diverse rhythm. That's why you'll notice there's 2 boxes, 2 dots. So I have my beats here. Okay, and then I have my measures done after 4 because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, now it's gray, and then white, and then gray. And those are my 4 bars. The reason I think the program probably did this is to help you organize or help you remember that, oh, this is my first one, second, third, and fourth. It's a pattern. Now, okay, I'm going to develop that rhythm that I did earlier. So it starts with on my first beat here, so ta over there, and then I'm going to go over here. I have 2, so I can do a TT. Let's listen for a second. Okay, now I'm going to do that for the rest of my
percussion instrument. And once you kind of get a hang of it, you'll get a lot quicker at making your rhythms. Okay.
All right. Now, I'm going to add my C scale, my piano. So I'm going to start with beat 1. And of course, like I said, the lower you go, the lower the pitch. But before I do that, here's what we have to do. We have to save this. We don't want to lose what we just did. So we have to go to our save button. And where does it save? Well, unfortunately, it doesn't save automatically to your Google Drive. What you actually have to do is copy the link. So click copy. Don't click these ones. Click copy. And then what you're going to do is once it's copied, I think it's good to go. You're going to go to your Google Drive. I have mine already open. Okay, what you'll do is go new and then create a new doc. I already have mine open. I actually named it My New Song. What I'm going to do is I'm going to either go to Control V, or I can go to Edit, Paste. See, this is Control V. And now, look, there's my song. It's saved in my Google Doc. And if you want to share it with me, go up here and type in my name, and I'll have my email down below again, and you'll be able to actually share it with me. But we don't have to actually go through this completely right now. You can ask me if you want help later. I just want to get going on this actual song. So you type in Greg.Tkach, you're done. You're shared with me. Now, I'm going to do my C scale. Now, each note in the C scale is, well, it's 1 beat. Now, I'm going to do that for you right now. Okay, start. I'm going to go from low to high. Okay. Oh, made a mistake. Set my new beat. Now it's 8. Now I have to go backwards. And I'll show you that in a second. Okay, as you notice, there's a few boxes that pop up on the left-hand side here. Just my little screencast tool I'm using. Okay, so I have my first 8 notes, and I'm going to go backwards now at the scale. I'll go here. And remember, I said each of these dark blue lines represents a beat, and you can see the pattern of notes now because each note represents a beat. And how many do we have in total? 4 times 4, 16. Let's give it a listen once again. Okay, sounds pretty cool. Stop that now. Now what you could do to actually make this a little more interesting, dress it up a bit, is add a harmony. But before I do that, I want you to think about what a harmony is / a chord. I'm going to save again. Okay, let's save right here. It's always important to save. Okay, copy that link. I go back to my Google Doc here. Okay, I'm going to actually delete that old one because I don't need it. I have an updated version. And yes, of course, you can do this at the very end when you're actually finished. However, I like to do it as I'm going because I want to keep a good workflow. I also don't want to lose anything cool that I may have created. And if my computer crashes, you know. Now it's saved again. There's also something cool here. You can actually download this as a MIDI or a WAV. That means you could download it as just an audio file to your computer if you wanted to do that. But if we're using a Chromebook, it's easier just to have it saved on the Google Doc, and you can maybe download it later. All right, let's go back here. So I said a harmony or chord. Who remembers how many notes are in a harmony or chord? Well, at least 2. Now, with our keyboards, we remember those chords, we use the 1, 3, 5 position. So I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm going to make the 3 position over here. So I'm going to add just 1 harmony for now. You'll notice I have to have a space in between each of them to actually have a good sounding harmony. You can fool around with others without spaces if you want, but to have that really pure sounding harmony, I'm going to have 1 space or 1 note in between. Let's listen. Okay, stop that. It's a little laggy. That's okay. But now I'm going to add a 3rd note. Now remember, 1 space in between if you want to have this pure harmony here. Okay. I can go into detail of what notes you're actually playing later. We know that we actually start on C here, and this red one's C again. Well, let's listen. Okay, I'll do enough. I'll stop talking. Let's do some listening. Okay. Oh, made a mistake. It's a little bit laggy. Computer's having a bit of trouble. But if you just press play on something like this, you can give it a shot. What actually I'm going to do is I'm going to share my song, just the little link with you inside of the post in our stream today. Hey folks, as you can see, my hair has changed a bit, but my color is fixed. Just want to say again, thanks so much for watching episode number 4. I hope you really enjoyed it. It's a bit of a longer video this time, but we needed some time to explain that entire song making app. If you want to share your songs with me, make sure you follow the steps on how to share and save things on this tutorial, okay? Well, I'm excited to hear your songs, and it's always great to get projects and activities and videos and pictures from you folks. So until next time, stay safe, stay awesome, and stay classy. We'll see you soon.